You know, Craig Osler did some studies in LDS courtship patterns at BYU, and his bottom line discovery was, don't flirt much, don't date much. Well, the nice thing about flirting is it's a language you can learn. And not only learn, it is actually fun. You know, there's not much fun in becoming a widower. But I'll tell you, there are a few little silver linings, one of which is single women are fun. There are fun things out there. And flirting is sort of the key to this thing. Incidentally, let me tell you how my initial interest in flirting started. When I decided it was time to finally come out of the closet, I noticed an article in the paper about a course at a fancy hotel taught in Scottsdale one Thursday night called How to Flirt. And I thought, whoa, this is for me. So I go to this course. And what I found out was, there's not much new. It's been described in the literature for decades. Well, what is flirting? The first thing is, guys, it is not a dirty word. It's simply learning how to send some non-verbal messages. What kind of messages? Things like, hi, let's talk. Or, hello, hello, anybody out there? I'm a friendly. Flirting simply says, I would like to know you. That's all it says. Why do men find flirtatious women so indispensable? The vast majority of guys will only approach a girl if they're getting signals from her. Men's fear of rejection is simply too strong. They won't run the risk without some encouragement. Flirting is actually a separate language, a very special language. And there's only one way to learn it. How do you learn a foreign language? Practice, 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 practice. That's how you learn the flirting language. I'm here to tell you, flirting is fun. It just requires some enthusiasm, a bit of a playful spirit, and a willingness to take move a tiny bit outside of your comfort zone. Guys, I'm going to go over the most common ways women speak this flirt language. They send you visual cues, and I'm going to review that with you. Now, why go over female flirting techniques with you? Because if you haven't already discovered, men are from Mars and women are from Venus. We don't always speak the same language, and some of their signals go right over our heads. So learn the signs and keep your antennas up 24/7. You'll pick up a lot of interesting little cues. Ladies, why go over all this in your presence? Because I believe in an open policy here. A lot of these things you do already subconsciously. But if you raise all of it up to your conscious level, you can practice and refine it even more. And who do you practice on? Your little sister. I don't know who you practice on. All kinds of people you can practice this on. Here's an important hint to girls, incidentally. If you send out just one of these signals, even bright guys sometimes won't catch it. Usually you got to repeat it. Or maybe send out 2 or 3 different signals. And it'll finally dawn on them. What are the most common signs, guys, that a girl is flirting with you? That is, she's sending out these messages. Hello? That's what she's saying. Okay, first is, she makes eye contact. It's longer than just that little quick glance. It's like 2 or 3 seconds. There's a little lingering eye contact there. Up close, sophisticated women will focus on the famous flirt triangle. You'll see them go eye to mouth, to eye to mouth. It's that eye contact business. Another one of these I'm interested signals is she smiles at you. Well, smile back, idiot. Then there's the famous multiple glance magnet. And the way this works is like this. She makes contact with you, then she looks away, then she looks back again and smiles. Girls, it's critical you look back that second time. And you got to keep looking until he catches you. That's the way this is done. And guys, for pity's sakes, when she looks away, you keep looking so you can get her in this. Remember, this is that delicate language, this delicate flirtatious language that we speak. Another one is, she somehow keeps getting in your line of sight. How does she do that? Who knows? But somehow, she keeps appearing. She may keep walking past you. She may put herself where she knows you're going to be. Guys, she's trying to get you to notice her. So, learn the language. In a group setting, here's another flirtatious technique. In a group setting, she will isolate herself from her friends. That is, she makes approaching her less threatening. Think of this. If you're in that den of lionesses, you think he's going to approach you and run the risk of getting put down in front of all those women? No, the smart ladies understand this, and they're at an event, they go to a dance with their girlfriends, that's fine. They get to the dance, they separate themselves. So the guy dares approach. Another technique you'll notice when she's saying out these techniques, she plays with her hair, lips, and neck. Women know their bodies have magnetic power. I'm talking to adults here. And hair, lips, and neck are safe to flaunt, to call attention to. You don't believe me? Just notice what happens when she has a devastating hairdo, or hair day, right? Everything tanks. So what do? They'll run their fingers through their hair, they'll throw it around, flick it. They'll run their fingers across their lips, they'll lip gloss again, they'll put a pencil on their lips, they'll rub their neck, they'll tip their head, they'll toss their hair. They'll expose more of the neck. You watch. I've been watching this stuff. Not only does the literature say this, but I've been watching this. That's one of the fun things about getting on this single scene is, oh, there's a whole world there. There's a single guy for 44 years. I was totally oblivious to. I completely forgot about it. It's an exciting world. Here's another one. You'll find some women who are sending out these signals do what is called turbo bonding. It is actually a mimic of your body movements. Incidentally, I may move a little further away when I say this. I watched Sharon do this. You put your hand on your chin, and she does too. You hold your glass a certain way, and she does too. You cross your legs and lean forward, she does too. What she's saying is, I'm interested in you, and I'm mirroring you. Now, the reason they call this turbo bonding is in 90 seconds you can establish a relationship by turbo bonding. And I've never seen a person pick up that is say, you're turbo bonding. No. It's too subtle. Now, that's what I told Sharon as she did it. I said to her after about the third or fourth of these things, I said, Sharon, do you know you're turbo bonding? And she said, what's that? And I explained it's mimicking my body motions. You're sending out some signals to me. And she stopped doing it. 57 seconds later, she started doing it. It's almost like it's genetic. So watch for that mimicking of body motions. Another one is she'll laugh at your jokes, especially your silly and unfunny ones. This is an age-old interaction pattern. Another one is she will touch you. Just make sure she's the first one to touch. Okay. And then you can touch back. That's a very strong signal. She enters your personal space is another one of these. She'll get closer than the normal comfort distance, and it becomes even more strong as a signal when she whispers to you. And she'll start a conversation. That's another common flirtatious technique. Bingo, she started the conversation, go for it. Well, to review, again, these are very common techniques used by women to send out messages to guys. It's all in the literature, and it's substantiated by observation. It works. This stuff is really out there. She'll lock eyes, she'll smile, she'll look back a second time, she keeps getting into your line of sight, she moves away from her entourage for you, she plays with her hair, lips, neck, she mimics your body movements, she laughs when you try to be funny, she touches you, she moves into your personal space, she starts a conversation, she pays you compliments. Now, let me talk for a minute about how guys flirt. It's very easy to learn women, because they don't. Or at least what little they do, they're very poor at it. But you know what, that's not bad, because remember how the game is played. Remember what this game is. Men pursue, women attract. Men hunt, women encourage. That's the way the game is still played. So women are those who are sending these signals. The object is, guys, catch the message. Come here. That's the object. So, incidentally, girls, you know what? the literature reports are the 3 greatest turn-offs for men that women do. The first is, you look angry. So, you know, different people are facially created differently. Some people naturally look a little more smiley, and some people naturally look a little more scowly, but on the whole, it's you create that. And so if you're Ms. Permascowl, you want to know about that, because you want to change that. And I'll tell you a good way to figure that out. I went to a convention once when the presenter said, how many of you really know what your smile looks like? Suppose you're walking down the street and you want to send a little message. You're in a hurry and you pass somebody you know casually and you just want to say, this kind of little recognition smile, but you don't want to say so much that you have to stop and spend 5 minutes because you're in a rush, but you got to recognize the person, so what do? He said, now during break I want all of you to go in the restrooms. There's a huge hotel, there are tons of restrooms. Go in the restroom during break and stand in front of a mirror and close your eyes and go through this scenario I just told you about. Imagine up this sort of thing, and then on your face put that hello, how are you smile on your face and open your eyes and see what you got. And then come back and tell me. And so when he came back he said, so how many of you were shocked because there was nothing on your face? And probably 60 or 70% of the hand, including mine, went up. You mean all these years I thought I was saying something, I wasn't saying anything? So check out your smile. Incidentally, men need to do that as well, of course, to make sure you're actually communicating something with that automatic smile you have. The next of the greatest turnoffs is you don't lock eyes with a guy. And the third is you're always surrounded by your friends. Those are the 3 leading turnoffs, according to men. But you say to me, well, listen, if I flirt a lot, I'm going to be faced with the task of getting rid of a bunch of guys. So how do I do that gracefully? Well, if that's your problem, number 1, count your blessings. And number 2, give me your email address and I'll send you a special list entitled The Great Escapes. Because there's several ways to do this and do it with grace.